You said you have never in your life had anyone called you the N-word to your face, and now it happens.
Never. I know it's a weird thing to think about, but you think as a person of color that I sure hope that I never called the N-word to my face, because that it's happened to our parents, our fathers, our grandparents, and our relatives before us. It was more commonplace, but you hope that you could live out your life without being called the N-word to your face. And at my age, I thought I had almost made it. I really did. I know it sounds really weird, but I thought no one's ever called me the N-word to my face. And I used to kind of boast about that to people. And now it's wiped away. It's just really odd.
The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Tonight we begin with an exclusive where a Houston man is facing multiple misdemeanor charges of assault and terroristic threatening with a hate crime enhancement. Prosecutors say a mother and daughter in Montrose were targeted because of their race. We sat down with Michelle Prophet to hear her side of the story. But later we hear from the man who was arrested after police and prosecutors say he called the mom and daughter bitches as well as the N-word and threatened to kill them if they called the cops. So, Michelle, take us back. 2 weeks ago, you were coming home from an Astros game with your daughter. And
Yes.
You're close to your home on your street.
Yes, and we drive on our street, and there's a vehicle that's parked in the street blocking it, and there's a gentleman talking to the female that's driving the vehicle. And my daughter and I are having such a great time after leaving the game a little early. The Astros were up 4-0. Lance McCullers Jr., had just pitched a great game, and we were just on a high. And we realized that the car, that the female was driving, it wasn't moving. And we waited and we waited, and I lightly tapped the horn, to get their attention, because I figured maybe they couldn't see us because we were in a low, convertible sports car. Well, then the gentleman that I later found out, his name is Chad, he comes over and he says, "What the F is wrong with you two?" And at that point, I was completely shocked and taken away. And my daughter responds, "We're just trying to get, to our home." And then he says, walking towards the vehicle while I'm still in the seatbelt, "You don't live here. What are you talking about? Look at you." And that's when I'm like, "Yes, I do. We live right here, 2 houses down." And that's when he takes his cup that was filled with alcohol and he just throws it in my face, the alcohol-filled cup, and hits me with the cup. And he's still walking towards the car. And at that point, I'm blinded. I couldn't see anything because my eyes are burning. There's alcohol. And a few seconds later, I hear my daughter telling him, "Back up, back away from the car." Because apparently, I guess he's still walking towards the car. I was, disoriented. I had alcohol burning my eyes. And that's when he strikes my daughter, and she falls to the ground at the left side of the vehicle, on the driver's side, rather, in the back. And I tell her, "Emily, get back in the car. I'm calling the police." And that's when Mr. Chad says, if you call the cops for me, I'm going to kill you. And at that point, it really enraged me. And I think I was pressing those buttons on my phone probably 20 times harder. And that's when I called 911 and alerted them as far as what was going on, how he had, assaulted us and called us and MFs and told us that we didn't live here and just every filthy thing that he could think of.
There was also a threat of death.
Yes. He said that if we would call the cops, he would kill us. And at that point, as mentioned, I was angry. And I was definitely going to call the police.